Hello everyone and welcome to our January vlog. If you happen to have watched any of our previous vlogs, this was something that we wanted to start doing on our channel to highlight local businesses, talk a bit about the behind the scenes of our business, and also quite honestly practice filming and talking to the camera, because even though it's something we do pretty often, it's still something we always feel like we could improve at, and we really want to focus on continuing to connect with our clients and new prospective clients and other realtors and colleagues in the industry online, because it is such a valuable resource for any business owner right now, and this feels like a good opportunity to supplement those in-person interactions. We did miss a couple of these vlogs towards the end of the year, and I feel like the quality and substance of them fluctuated a little bit, but I thought that January would be an awesome time to talk about some of the reflections we had from last year and some of our intentions and goals for going into the new year. I know it's a bit of a cliche topic, but it's one that I do find really interesting, and I was telling Alex that I think with how much AI and AI tools are becoming a part of the real estate industry, but also just how business owners show up online in general. You know, I think back to the amount of time I spent writing scripts for Alex or blog posts for our website, and the ability you have now to create a base draft of something really quickly using those online subscriptions and tools that are available to everyone. It has definitely changed the game, but I think that we are going to see people really craving content that shows people's personalities and talks, you know, about their human experiences, because there is so much cookie cutter content out there and the information that we get from everywhere is endless. So of course we always want to be providing value when it comes to real estate information and local content, but we also want to share a bit about who we are and our personalities and what goes into the work that we're doing, because that's something that I really enjoy hearing from people, and it's something that we want to continue sharing. So if you want to start, Alex, with some of your reflections. I'm a little out of breath already.
Yeah, so I think for 2025, when you look at the data of it, the numbers in terms of the total sales were very similar to that of 2024. So for us in Victoria, I mean, I've said this in so many videos, you know, we're relatively protected versus a lot of these market trends that you're seeing in larger markets like Vancouver and Toronto. So we're pretty happy, we're pretty blessed in that sense. So 2025 for us, in terms of our business, I mean, we can always do more and do greater, but we're definitely satisfied. We're happy with how everything ended up. Like Ricky had mentioned, for us coming into 2026, we got a real estate coach, and one of our biggest kind of goals obviously is, you know, production and all of that stuff, but you know, how to use AI not only to better our business, but to make us more efficient and more educated for you, our clients. So I think that's kind of personally one of my biggest goals for this year, is really figuring out how, I'm never gonna get ahead of AI, I'll always be behind it, but how I can use that to make myself better for everybody. And then of course, I think you'd be a fool not to, for a realtor for 2026, to really focus on how, or expanding our content creation, because that's where everybody's finding realtors nowadays.
Yeah, of course. I've personally had such a complicated relationship with the rise of, I'm gonna say AI tools, because it's not just ChatGPT. There are so many subscriptions now that you have access to as somebody who is creating content or trying to synthesize large documents or review things. You know, you click a button and something can really help you speed that process along. And I recognize that there is that balance of technology is always going to be evolving and changing, and whether you are ready for that or not, it's happening, as well as that ethical feeling of still wanting your work to feel like your work, and that when you are providing resources and advice to people, that it's really coming from you and something that you've thought through and vetted, and it's not just something that you're clicking and sending off without really understanding the implications of it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You know, to summarize, I think where people get a little confused with AI and kind of what I originally had thought. I mean, for me, AI, it's not a replacement tool. It's a supplemental. It's a supplemental tool, right? It definitely cuts out a lot of the legwork, but yeah, you can't really get rid of the human aspect of it. So it helps you really excel, but it doesn't replace.
Yeah, I think I like saying that. Yeah, the human connection piece is so important. Were you done? Do you want me to start?
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Thinking about my own reflections from the last year, it was a huge transition for us in our life and our business because we were navigating my return to work in a larger capacity and what that looked like as a couple who is in business together, but also raising a young family. We have a 19-month-old and I am pregnant again. We're expecting a baby boy at the end of June. Of course, I mean, parents everywhere know this, like we're not special by any means. This is something that every other parent out there is navigating, but for us, with it being our first year of it, it did take a bit of trial and error to figure out what that looked like going forward. For our family, that resulted in Alex being the primary working out of the home parent and myself being the primary caregiver. And so while Blake did start daycare part-time this year, if anything were to happen, my schedule is the one that pivots, which is completely understandable and fair, but I think I had a lot of expectations on myself for quote unquote doing it all. And it took me a bit of time to find that rhythm of giving myself grace and figuring out how I was going to show up as the best version of myself in every role that I have. And again, I know this is something everybody is doing, but for me, I've realized that that really means finding a schedule that allows me to be a little bit ahead on the things that I'm working on, so that if one week goes completely not according to plan and I need to pivot, that I have that space to take a breath and adapt in a more intentional way. I hope that made sense. Sometimes my thoughts feel a little scrambled as soon as we click record. But to wrap this vlog up and talk a little bit about the content that we did get through December, this is going to be a shorter vlog, and we were so grateful and fortunate to have time to recharge as a family in Hawaii, and that trip was such a blessing.
Well, we missed last month's vlog, but we have a great way to be starting this month's vlog, and we, as you can tell, just landed in Hawaii. So we are going to be here for a week on the island of Oahu in Ko Olina to celebrate my dad's retirement at the end of this month.
Of course, we were so lucky to go on vacation. We also got hit with pretty much every sickness that we could think of through November and December. I also had a really rough first trimester. I found it a lot harder than my first pregnancy. The mailman's gonna bark. And then, you know, going into the holiday season, got sick again and had a family member who is very close to me pass away. That really highlighted to me, ending 2025 and going into 2026, that there are so many things in life that you can't control, and it is such a gift to yourself to have a plan around how you are going to navigate shifting schedules. So thank you so much for watching this vlog, and if you have subscribed to our channel and view any of our content, we appreciate it so much, and we are looking forward to sharing more about life in Victoria, some behind the scenes of the business, and we hope that it resonates with you and provides some value for whatever reason that you're viewing, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching.